Fetterman says Democrats are rudderless and total dicks. The only Democrat with some common sense. He's absolutely right. They are rudderless. They have absolutely no leaders, unless you want to say that Obama light Hakeem Jeffries is a leader, which we all know is not true, or Chuck Schumer, who's just awful. Even his own base is upset with him now. So he's absolutely right. So we're going to play the clip here with Fetterman has to say about all this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There you'll find a link to my Patreon where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Zero Hedge, and they report that Senator John Fetterman said on Tuesday that no one really knows who's in charge of Democrats on Capitol Hill, as Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer never even discussed the government shutdown with him. Wow. So you got a leader, Senate Minority Leader, with the government in shutdown, and he's not even talking to his own party? That's ridiculous. Appearing on Fox and Friends, Fetterman addressed an Axios report that Schumer privately pressured a group of moderate Democrats in mid-October to keep the government closed until Obamacare open enrollment on November 1st. When asked by co-host Lawrence Jones, who is running the show now in the Democratic Party in the Senate, in the House, Fetterman replied, "No one really knows." So let's just get right to, hold on, let me see here. Let's get right to the clip here. Here we go.
I think my party crossed a line of now putting 42 million Americans with their SNAP benefits and making flying less safe and that kinds of chaos, and not paying our military. I mean, that was a red line for me that I can't cross as a Democrat. And I think that's been described, country over the party. And now that I think that's been the truth throughout it, and it's only wrong to shut our government down, and I'm relieved. But the people now that are going to get paid and fed, and millions of Americans, they're going to be flying now, that's going to be made more safe and restored.
So Senator Axios has a piece this morning that says Chuck Schumer was talking to the moderate Democrats, pulled them privately aside and said, "I know you want to open up the government after 2 weeks, but don't do that. Don't cave to the Republicans." Did he ever talk to you? He knew how you were going to vote. Did he ever talk to you about it?
Absolutely no. I was not in a conversation, or I never got any outreach. Everyone understood. I really kind of led the charge back in March. And then I said, I know we'll be back in September. And I said, I know where my vote will be then, too.
He's right.
It's always a hard yes to keep our government open. I mean, that's my principle, because it's wrong to shut our government down. And now,
love him or hate him, John Fetterman sticks to his principles no matter who's voting for or against the thing. So I respect him for that. Because back in March, I remember him saying we should not use this as a tool. We should not shut down government to get what we want. He said that for Republicans, and he's continuing to say that under the Democrat shutdown. So I give credit when credit is due. He is a principled person who sticks by his principles.
We knew that we would put those 42 million Americans for SNAP and paying our military and, the Capitol Police. I mean, people have went 5 weeks without being paid. I mean, that's a violation of my core values, and I think it's our party's as well.
So, Senator, you came in as somewhat an outsider. And by the way, I was wrong, totally wrong about you. I thought you were going to be a radical, and you've been totally different than that. Who is running the show now in the Democratic Party, in the Senate, in the House?
No one really knows, and I think my values are reflected in my vote and the things that I support here, and if that might put me at at odds with parts of my party, I'm okay with that. I mean, we need to be a big party, a big tent party. So for me, it's like these are pretty reasonable. I mean, my party's always been opposing shutting our government down. I'm not sure why it's controversial now to vote these things. And
we know why it's controversial. Why they're using it now? They're using it now because they are losing their base, and they want to make it look like they want to feign like they're actually fighting for the quote unquote people. So that's why they did it. They did it because they wanted those votes in the last election that just recently passed. That's what this was all about.
I refuse to put all these people in the middle of this political kinds of brinkmanship.
So I want you to hear what Lindsey Graham said about you last night with Sean Hannity. Watch.
Senator Schumer is probably toast. He's probably can't survive in this environment. The question is, can Senator Fetterman? I think Senator Fetterman has got a hell of a story to tell to the people of Pennsylvania. I've been up here doing the best I can, and I think people are looking for that kind of attitude, not the Schumer attitude. They're looking for people to say, I'll listen to both sides and I'll use my own judgment, not be told what to do. All I can say is that we held our ground. The government is open. We're going to have a healthy debate about health care. And there's one person that had a lot to do with this we've never talked about much, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Your reaction?
My reaction is what I said earlier. I am truly elated that our government is going to reopen. For all of the millions and millions of Americans now, will have their lives brought back to normal. And now Senator Graham, I agree with him on several of the foreign policies now, and we have collaborated on those things. In fact, we really both agreed that striking the Iranian nuclears was entirely appropriate and necessary. So I think, the truth in those situations, regardless of the letter after their names. For me, where is our party? Our party is trying to figure our way forward, and mine's going to be an honest projection of where the direction and the kind of values that our party should embrace. And that's going to play out. But for me, I have no regrets. I've been very.
Wow. So if Democrats want to win the 2026 election, they need to start thinking like Fetterman. They need to get behind Fetterman and stop listening to these crazy far leftists that's destroying their party. Fetterman also told CNN that fellow Democrats are complete dicks. Let's play this clip here. Here we go.
You said, quote, I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left.
He's right.
That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
It's true. Just look at it. The far left is the people. They're full of hate. They're full of vitriol. They believe it's their way or the highway. They claim they got this. They're so tolerant, but they're everything but tolerant when it comes to certain things. And it's. I mean, they celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. They celebrated when Trump got shot. They celebrate Luigi, who killed a man that worked for a company because he worked for a healthcare company. They thought it was okay for someone to take this man out. This is the far left. This is the Democrat Party. It's disgusting. I don't know how anyone can defend that.
Why?
Yeah. No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV. But the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you. They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head,
Oh my gosh.
cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that I remember one, they claimed, oh, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life? I mean, just really, like, I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die, literally cheering for a stroke. And I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. I mean, that's much different than just calling me a name. That's really been consistent, in that community online.
Wow. Blue sky is a toxic echo chamber for the left. And he's absolutely right. They're the party of hate. They allowed their base to become the party of hate. The people that if you disagree with them, they think you deserve to die. It's sickening. It's a disease. Rogan elaborates. Joe Rogan rails against the left for being the meanest mother effers. Rogan laid out a theory about how the so-called quote unquote tolerant left morphed into screeching nut jobs, and it does make sense. So let's hear Joe Rogan's take on this. Here we go.
There's a video of this lady in New Jersey. She gets out of a Cybertruck, just gets out. She was a passenger. And this lady who's walking her dog goes, "How's it feel to be racist?" And she's like, "What are you?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" She got a ride. She wasn't even driving. Someone dropped her off. She's like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, you're racist. You're in a Cybertruck. You're racist." And she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're crazy."
It blows my mind.
Well, people are always looking for every possible opportunity to be a shithead. And if they can be a shithead, if they're justified in being a shithead because they disagree with you, they would be the meanest motherfuckers just to be a shithead. And that activity happens primarily on the left. Primarily. Like, you don't see that from the right. Like, if someone pulls up in a Prius with a coexist bumper sticker, you don't see a bunch of guys going, "Hey, you fucking pussy."
Yeah, exactly.
What are you supporting fucking Iraq? What are you
Get out of our town.
supporting ISIS with your fucking bullshit fucking bumper sticker on your shitbag car? How's it feel to be an ISIS supporter? You don't get that.
Ever.
But you get that from the left. And I think it's the Trump thing. I think Trump was such a figure, is such a figure
TDS.
Of like an attack vector that they look at him like,
it's fun for them.
Yeah, it's fun. They have an enemy.
It occupies their brain at all times.
It's
They have
a
an enemy.
sickness. Yeah. It's a sickness. TDS. As the New York Post writes, the shorts and sweets wearing Poll hasn't been shy about his misgivings with elements of the progressive movement. Having remained staunchly pro-Israel, which I do have some questions about that with him, and wary of the scorched earth tactics the base wants Democrats to use. He said, quote, "I think my party crossed the line and now putting 42 million Americans with their SNAP benefits expiring," Fetterman said, "and making flying less safe and that kind of chaos and not paying our military." I mean, that was a red line for me that I can't cross as a Democrat. Of note, the revised government funding bill passed by the Senate Monday night would fund all operations until January 30th and pay for SNAP, veteran programs, and congressional affairs through September 30th. The House is expected to approve it. I think this happened a little while ago. I think they already approved it in the House. Pretty sure they already approved it in the House. Now it's gonna it got to go to the Senate. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.